welcome to video 26, guys. We're going to be talking about managing emotions while trading. Now, this might seem like a bit of an odd topic, but it is actually one of the more important topics when we dive into the Forex trading world. Emotions can be extremely weighting when it comes to trading, as they can have a significant effect on you and how you trade. Now, you're probably not going to notice it so much when you're trading with a demo account, because you're not trading with real money, so the emotion isn't really there. You don't get that sort of feeling of risk. Even when you treat it like it's your own money, you don't really get that feeling of risk, that feeling of ownership that you do when you start trading a live account. Now, when you trade a live account for the first time, you will see what I mean. When you go to place that first trade, you will be very nervous. A lot of emotion is going to come through you when you're placing that first real trade, because it's your own money on the line this time. And so managing emotions in that aspect is very important. On top of this, when you're trading and you see a trade going into the red, it can be very hard not to get nervous and upset, and sometimes get a bit frustrated, get a bit angry, say a few cuss words, etc. This is all entirely normal. I know how that feels. I've been there before, so I can relate to all of this. Getting annoyed when it goes backwards, or even cutting a trade that's in profit early because you want to take that profit, even though it could very well and oftentimes does reach the target, you let emotion take over, so you close that trade early because you just want to snatch that profit, or what little profit there is out of that entire target that you've actually set for yourself. This is where emotions are overrated. I always say this. Emotions are overrated. They stop people from doing things. So in terms of trading, you need to be very level-headed. You need to not let emotion get to you. When you're placing a trade, you need to be placing a trade with absolute confidence, not emotion. You need emotion to be put on the side. You don't want emotion to be sitting there controlling what you do. And when you're sitting there watching a trade that you've set a target here, and you've set a stop loss here, and maybe it's going down here a bit, don't get frustrated. Just breathe. Leave it be. Oftentimes it'll go like this, and then it'll go like that. And you'll think, what was I even worrying about, Sometimes it'll hit your stop loss, and that's okay. You just move on to the next one, and you go, okay, where did I go wrong? Now, what I like to do is every trade that I lose, I like to go back over that trade, and I like to look at it and analyze it and go, okay, how could I have picked this up? How could I have avoided this? And it's a good way to learn. It's a good way to sharpen your skills. Now, like I said, you're never going to win 100% of the time, but you can always get as close to 100% as possible. The more you analyze and the more you sharpen your skills, the better you will get, and you'll go from 50% to 60% to 70% to 80% to in excess of 90% if you really want to. It is doable. So picking your losing trades up, rewinding and analyzing them and going, okay, how could I have, that's the best way to do it. And that way, you're not letting emotion eat you up so much, because you're still taking something from it. Even though you lost, say, $20, you can learn something from that $20 loss. All these losing trades, they teach you something. You've just got to be willing to learn it, rather than sit there and throw the toys out of the cot and get angry about it. Now, some people are going to say to you, trade like a robot instead of trading like a human. And that is definitely one way to look at it, because robots don't have emotion. They just do what they're meant to do. Now, if you have a system and you have certain things that you look for, you have a strategy, trade that strategy. So long as it works and it's profitable over time, trade that strategy to the letter and do not deviate for emotion. So if emotion starts to get to you and you start to feel a bit nervous, don't let it. As long as your strategy is good and you're managing your risk and you're not overexerting your account, and you know what you're looking for and everything's lining up, and you've got a plan. You've got a plan for everything. You've got a plan for the stop. You've got a plan for the take profit. You've got a plan for a trailing stop if you're going to use that. You've got a plan for how big your lot size is going to be. You've got a plan for candle signal that you're going to follow, etc. So long as you've got a plan, there is no reason why emotion should affect you. All right. Make sure that you remember that, as this is going to be one of the most important parts of the whole thing, especially when you get into trading live. Trust me, placing that first live trade is nerve-wracking, I know. But you've got to move past the emotion, and you will move past the emotion over time. Remember, emotions are overrated. They stop people from doing things. All right, see you in video 27, where we cover why do all trades start as negative or in the red when open. All right, see you soon.